Okay, so this knob, pot or white metal knob off the Brother, remember this is all swelling from its internal corrosion and crystal structure settling in. And that just happens to certain formulations of white metal or pot metal. That means it's started to lose the chrome plating on it from the metal swelling and popping the chrome plate off, and the person that had this machine previously that was cranking on the knob trying to get it to turn because it was stuck in this metal plate, and it's still too big. I had this, and I've polished these corners out, and I've polished around the edge with just a Scotch-Brite wheel on my Dremel to polish. It's still not quite small enough to fit in this hole, so I'm going to get another file or something. I'm going to carefully file this narrow or this smaller shoulder off. I'm also going to file the inside of this hole, and I'm just going to gradually file these until I can get this knob to set in that hole again and turn, because right now it still doesn't fit down in the hole. And once I've filed that to get this knob back in the hole, I will get all of the loose flakes of chrome, because those are all sharp, and I will probably put a coat or two of clear nail polish on the outside of this knob to smooth it out and glue the edges of the peeling chrome down. So that is the next stage on making this fix. And you know, when this machine was made, this white pot metal knob was kind of the cheapest way to make this part. This is the kind of part that became plastic on later machines as they developed plastic that they thought was sturdy enough for this job. But until that, they were using this pot metal, which is sturdier than plastic but has its own issues. Alright, polished this up, and now it sets down in there, spins freely in that hole. So next we'll put a coat of clear nail polish on that to keep it from being all rough, since it's got that peeling chrome on it. And the other thing, while I was polishing stuff, you see the underside of this foot has scratches from the feed dogs, because this machine got used a lot and run a lot without any fabric under it, and those can be rough and they get scratched in the direction of feed. So if you've got an old machine with a metal feed dog or presser foot like this, and it's starting to have wear, you should take fine sandpaper, feel if it feels rough, and then just polish that crossways with your fine wet or dry sandpaper. I've got 800 grit. Polish it crossways to smooth those grooves out from the presser feet, and then you'll get much better feed dogs. You'll get much better feed on your machine if you keep this polished and smooth. Alright, so the reverser and stitch length control for the Brother, this is the orientation of it in the machine. It's 3 pieces. This piece is the main collar that fits in the hole on the machine. It's got this insert with a stop lock nut in it, and that lock nut, and I just misplaced my screwdriver. Anyhow, or set screw here. This screw runs on the groove here on the center piece. So when that goes in, now this center piece, as it turns, that spiral groove, that's our full control there. And then last on this section is the reverse pin, and that goes through the middle. Now this whole piece goes back in the body of the machine, which I'm going to oil it pretty thoroughly before I go inserting it back in the body of the machine. And then once this is in the body of the machine, it's going to get this piece, which is part of a sandwich for the control knob we had to fix. So this is going to go believe this piece goes on the back of our, yep, that goes on the back of the plate here, so that the knob is held on this trim piece when it's assembled. And then you line the knob up with this reverser mechanism when you put the trim piece on. So once I got a couple more coats on this knob so that the nail polish keeps you from getting the rough of the peeling chrome, we'll finish assembling this. Okay, there is another layer of nail polish on the control knob for the stitch length, and this front panel has the zigzag control lever here, and that needs to get reinstalled, so we'll be ready to put that the panel back together. You can see on the back side here, and this is a pretty standard design for these side load zigzag machines. If your machine has this arrangement of knobs on the front panel, then they're all going to work the same on the back no matter what the front panel looks like. So stitch length, zigzag width, and 2 stops. You can see the 2 stops just clamp inside on a track here. And they've got this tab, and this slider goes into that indicator face, and then the adjustment knob has a spring, and except I don't remember which way the spring goes. So I guess we'll figure that out together. Clearly that's not a good idea. Let's try. If we do that with the spring, it looks like it was rubbing in there, and then oh yeah, okay. We can lift the spring up and hook it on that there. So this hooks on that arm. The arm slips into this hole so that when the lever moves back and forth, it moves our lock, slider, and indicator. And then this goes in, and there's a flat for the set screw. There we are. And our set screw tightens against the flat, and now this is ready. And then this pin here is what sticks inside the machine and pushes on the spring-loaded zigzag mechanism in the machine. So, alright. So it's got the spring to just help this part of the mechanism work, and then the zigzag mechanism inside the machine also has a spring. Alright. Yeah. Alright, and now I just have to wait for that nail polish to dry.